Welcome to Trauma Bay. People often hold on to things long after they've stopped working. Old habits, outdated rules, broken systems. And nothing exemplifies that more clearly than religion. Religion was born in a time when we knew almost nothing. We didn't know how diseases spread. We didn't know the earth revolved around the sun. We didn't understand mental illness, gravity, atoms, or the mind. In that kind of world, superstition felt like a survival tool. When lightning struck, it was a god. When crops failed, it was punishment. When someone got sick, it was a curse. Religion filled the gaps in knowledge with stories. It gave people the illusion of understanding. But now, the world has changed. We've learned. We've evolved. Yet we still cling to the same myths that were made up when people thought the earth was flat. You don't need a degree in science or philosophy to see the contradictions. A loving God who sends people to eternal torment. A perfect creator whose creations constantly suffer. A divine plan that always seems to need more suffering. These ideas are passed off as truth, yet fall apart the moment you start asking simple questions. And when you do question, you're told you lack faith. But if your beliefs can't withstand questions, maybe the problem isn't the questions. Maybe the problem is the belief. People don't follow religion because it makes logical sense. They follow it because it gives them structure. Because they were raised in it. Because it feels familiar. Comfort doesn't equal truth. Nostalgia doesn't equal logic. Believing something because it's always been believed is the opposite of progress. If we treated science the way we treat religion, we'd still be bleeding people to cure a fever. Most people don't choose their religion. It's given to them before they can even think critically. A child born in Pakistan is most likely to grow up Muslim. A child born in Italy is more likely to be Catholic. That's not divine destiny, that's geography. And when the truth of your religion depends entirely on your birthplace, how can it be universal? There's also a strange double standard in how people view other religions. Almost everyone can see the absurdity in someone else's belief system. If a tribe believes a volcano is a god, we call it mythology. If millions believe bread turns into flesh during a ritual, we call it sacred. It's all mythology, just with different packaging. Religion teaches people to stop thinking, not directly, but subtly. You're told the answers already exist, that they were written thousands of years ago, that nothing new is needed. But progress comes from questioning, from challenging, from doubting. Every major advancement in human history came from someone saying, "That doesn't make sense." Religion teaches people to say, "It doesn't matter if it makes sense, just believe." It's not just about belief either. It's about behavior. Religion has been used to justify war, slavery, genocide, child abuse, and oppression of every kind. That doesn't mean every religious person is harmful. But it does mean that harmful people have used religion as a tool. When your actions are guided by holy authority, anything becomes justifiable. Faith can excuse cruelty. It can silence reason. It can turn morality into obedience. And we have better tools now. We don't need ancient books to teach us right from wrong. Empathy does that. Reason does that. Laws based on real-world consequences do that. You don't need a commandment to tell you not to kill someone. You just need to understand their life matters. Morality that depends on divine approval isn't morality. It's compliance. Many people say religion gives their life meaning, but meaning doesn't come from old stories. It comes from experiences, from people, from love, from learning, from creating. You don't need a god to feel awe at the universe. In fact, when you understand how vast and complex the universe truly is, without any supernatural explanation, it becomes even more amazing. Stars don't need gods to burn, and we don't need religion to feel wonder. Then there's the fear of death, the fear of punishment, the fear of being wrong. Religion thrives on fear. It tells you that doubt is dangerous, that disbelief is sin, that thinking too much will lead you astray. But fear isn't a good foundation for truth. If something is true, it doesn't need threats to survive. If something is worth believing, it should welcome investigation, not punish it. Look at the data. Countries with the highest levels of atheism tend to have the lowest levels of crime, the highest levels of education, and the best standards of living. Scandinavian nations like Sweden, Norway, and Denmark consistently rank as the happiest, healthiest, and most peaceful places on earth. Not because they found a better religion, but because they moved beyond it. That's not to say religion is going away anytime soon, but it's fading. Slowly, steadily, people are leaving. Not because they want to sin, not because they hate God, but because they realized they didn't need the middleman. They didn't need a book to tell them how to live. They didn't need rituals to feel connected. They didn't need fear to keep them moral. The internet changed everything. Knowledge isn't locked in temples or churches anymore. A kid in a remote village can read more in an hour than a priest could in a lifetime, a few centuries ago. Information is everywhere now. And with it comes the chance to see religion for what it is, a relic. A system created when we knew less, feared more, and needed stories to survive. Now we don't need stories. We need facts. We need compassion. We need honesty. We need courage to say, this doesn't work anymore. Holding on to religion today is like refusing to leave a house that's burning down because you were born in it. The house gave you shelter once, but now it's falling apart. And it's not just collapsing quietly, it's dragging people down with it. It divides us into groups. It creates us versus them. It tells people they're chosen and others are doomed. It draws imaginary lines and then defends them with blood. Even within a single religion, there are endless factions, all claiming to follow the same God, yet constantly arguing, splitting, and even killing each other over differences. If there was one clear divine truth, why would it need 1,000 interpretations? Why would it lead to so much division? The truth is, the world doesn't need more belief. It needs more thinking. It needs more kindness that isn't motivated by reward or fear of punishment. It needs more responsibility, not to gods, but to each other. It's time to stop defending ideas just because they're old. Time to stop confusing tradition with truth. Time to stop thinking the past has all the answers. The future belongs to those who ask better questions. Leaving religion doesn't mean losing your values. It means defining them for yourself. It means living honestly, without pretending to know things you don't. It means being okay with uncertainty. It means growing up, not in age, but in awareness. Because meaning isn't something handed down. It's something you build. And once you stop waiting for it to be delivered from above, you can finally start creating it from within.